Hey everybody, welcome to Bestie Book Reviews. I'm here with my bestie Mandy.
And I'm here with my bestie, Jessica, and author Natasha Knight.
Hi,
Hi.
how are you guys?
We're good. Thank you for being on. Um,
Yes.
I'm
Well, I'm
just
really excited to be here, so thank
yeah,
you for having me.
I'm just excited to see you because I talk to you all the time, but I don't
Yep,
see you, even though
yep.
you're pretty far away. So it's awesome. So yay! All right, so Mandy,
Yes. Well, it is fun to have you on especially since this is like an international author interview.
Am
mm-hmm,
I the first international? No,
Not
no,
our first,
no.
but it's been a while. I think BJ
Okay.
Alpha was our last one,
Who
I
is
and
think
it?
that was a
B-
while ago.
Okay, all right.
BJ Alpha.
Where
Do you
Hmm.
is
know
she?
she's in
No.
the UK?
Okay, okay.
Yeah, we've done a couple Australian interviews.
Oh gosh, time zones.
Yeah, that's always like I think it's always like their Sunday morning, our Saturday
Yeah.
morning, afternoon. I don't remember. It's a long one. It's a big one.
Yes. Yes, yes.
It's always the next day.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's always fun. But
We'll
you're the
probably
first in
win
your
some
area.
awards for having international author interviews.
So
All
silly.
right, let's
Okay.
dive right in.
Okay.
Okay.
So, for those people who may not be familiar with your books, what types of books do you write? Any particular tropes, and where would you recommend someone starts?
So I write dark romance, mafia romance. It's mostly mafia romance, and even when it's not, people think it is mafia, so it's fine.
Mhm.
I write always enemies to lovers for some reason. It just works out that way. And where they should start, okay. So if you want on the lighter side, start with Salvatore, which is the first of a five-book, the Benedetti brothers, which is, I think, my original mafia romance. If you want something darker, you just want to jump right in, go to Taken, and that's a trilogy. And yeah, that's if you really want dark, just go there. Those are probably really good places to start, and then hopefully you fall in love and read my whole catalog.
Mhm. So Taken is that's the Willow sisters, right?
That's the Willows,
Okay.
yes.
So, and I know I've told you this, but when I decided that I wanted to pick up a book and like listen to an audiobook for the very first time,
Yeah.
that was the very first book that I picked up back in 2020. So it was
Really?
my very first dark. Yes. And that is what like it was a rabbit hole after that. Like it just spiraled after that. So
Oh,
it's
I'm
all
so
your fault and it's awesome.
glad.
So yeah.
I have the audio on, I have it just like on my phone for some reason, and I can't sleep. Like I'm a major insomniac. So every night around 2, 3 in the morning, you will find me awake. So I will sometimes just put something on
Mhm.
that I'm not listening to, like, something that I don't really need to pay attention to. And I'll start
Yep.
listening to kind of hope that it puts me to sleep. But then it's
Mhm.
like, holy shit, what are they doing?
And that
So
one was that's when Ross and Kai Kennicott that did that one, right?
it's Michael Pauly did it. I think he's
Okay.
using a different name now, and
Okay.
Mackenzie Cartwright.
Mackenzie Cartwright. Okay. I
Yes.
know that you've had few, I thought, with that couple, because that was when I first realized that they were a married couple and stuff. But
I love Kai and wait, what's her husband's name again?
when? When
Well,
Ross?
yeah,
Yeah.
obviously. Okay. They are great. And I love working with them together because when you work with a couple, it's just everybody's on the same page. Everybody's doing it the same way. There's not a file delivered this way, a file delivered that way where you're like, okay, what do I do now? So,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Exactly. The other thing too, you co-write with A. Zarelli with
Yeah.
Ashley
Yes.
on a whole world of
Yes,
books.
yes, yes. The
Yes. Yeah.
society world. I love, we started with like, because people kept kind of mixing us up. They would go to a signing and come to my table and tell me about her books and tell me how much they loved them. And I'm like, I think you want Ashley. She's over there. And they do the same to me or to her with my books. So
Mhm. Mhm.
I remember I called her once from like the school parking lot when I was waiting for my daughter to, I don't know what was going on, but it was like super early in the morning for me and she keeps crazy hours. So we were like, okay, so we should just try writing something. And we started with mafia romance and then we started the secret society world, which the society, I love it. I love
Yeah.
writing in that world. It's dark, but it's, I love it. I mean, there some some of those stories, like at the end of the writing day, she and I would be like, okay, you just have to kind of stand at the wall for like an hour just to decompress. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
But those books, they're like just everything. You can feel everything in those books. I love them. So, and I love writing with her. She's amazing. So,
Yeah.
You also have really nice book covers.
oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Mandy likes the good looking guys on my cover quite often. So
I
yeah.
understand. I love
She
the good
got what
books.
I was saying.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because which
Do
one
you
did you?
have like tryouts for that?
I wish I had tryouts for that. Wouldn't that be great? You know, I met one of the cover models at my first, I think it was like my second ever signing. And he comes up to me, Drew Truckle. He comes up to me and he's like, hey, and he's talking. And I'm like, who is this guy? And he goes, do you need me to take my shirt off? And I thought, Drew. But yes, please do, you know?
Do you remember which book he was on?
He was on a long time ago. He was on, I believe he was on Unhinged at some point. I can't remember, but I've changed that cover. I can't even tell you how many times.
Yeah.
I get a little crazy and I'll just like all of a sudden I'll decide I'm changing covers on a certain series. I'll be in the middle of the writing day and I will decide I'm changing covers on this random other series and I get going. This is like how my brain works. My husband is like, you need to focus. So
You're like, no,
one
can't.
thing. No, there's no such
Yeah,
thing.
there's no focusing. When you write with Ashley, how does that work? Do you write like, I'm gonna write this part and you're gonna write that? Like, how does that work?
Well, neither of us plot. We're like, we just can't do it. So we have, like, we usually choose hero or heroine, and it kind of, you know, it's what one of us is feeling. If one of us is feeling whatever, then we go with it, and then the other person does the other character, and then we just start. We just start. And gosh, I can't remember. Like, I think on Society, I think I did the prologue on that one. Yeah, I don't know. We just start. And there's no, like, we don't discuss what we're writing exactly, what the themes are, whatever. We do have character sheets though. So, and she's the only time I've ever done character sheets was with her because I didn't know they were a thing for myself even. And because I don't plot, I often have to go back and fix a lot of things. Wait a minute, you know?
Oh, so this is how you avoid that. Okay.
You know, my brain just doesn't work that way though. Like I cannot sit down and plot and say this is going to happen because I can't feel it, you know? So it's just chaotic.
You let the characters do their thing.
I do let the characters do their thing.
Yeah.
And kind of hope for the best and hope that it works out by the end. So
it's great. It's great.
So do you have a favorite book or a favorite character you've written?
I knew you would ask that. I don't have, you know what? I think it's always the one that I'm working on is like my favorite at the moment. I don't, as soon as I start telling you about a story, all of a sudden I'm like, yeah, that's my favorite. And then I'll start telling you about another story. Yeah, that's my favorite. Okay, I do always have a thing for brothers. Like I'll start with a character and he's, you know, super big in my head. And then all of a sudden I write the brother and I think, oh, I kind of like him, you know? I think that's kind of an avoidance. I don't know, like I'm trying to avoid having to like to write, you know, because it's hard work. So I don't have a favorite character. I can tell you the one that I get the most messages about, good and bad, Sergio. I don't know if you guys ever read that, but he's the third, well, he's actually the oldest Benedetti brother, but he spoiler alert, he dies. He's dead when the series starts, and people still think that he's going to come back to life at the end of his book. He does not. I'm just really clear about that right up front. I have letters about it, and just, you know, he's not coming back. But so, and he's the only character I've ever really like I've heard, you know, and it was like I never meant to write his book, and I heard him for months before I started to write his book, and it was like, oh my gosh, he was awesome. I'm probably going to get teary. I'm going to try not to, but he was like, I just heard this voice. He was like such a presence to me, and then when he died, when that scene came, he was, you know, he kind of faded out. And see, I get teary. But so I love him in a special way, I guess, just because he's gone, you know? So, but yeah, I can't pick a book. I can't pick a character that I love because I feel like it would be just doing a disservice to all the others. Do you know?
And then suddenly you're wanting to write a time travel romance where someone goes back in time and saves him.
actually a vampire now. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. You've written a couple paranormal-ish ones. You can do that. Do it.
I know, right? I would love to do paranormal, actually. I'm just like, I think it would take a lot of energy. And
Yes.
I just don't have that kind of energy right now. So
Mhm.
I'm sticking to the romance. Plus, it's like I love romance. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
I love writing it. I love dark romance. And I didn't know I was writing dark. I just thought I was writing romance.
Mhm.
But I just love that. And I always like, and I don't know, if I'm watching
So-
something, what?
How did you discover then that you were writing dark romance if you thought you were just writing romance? Somebody's like, wait a minute, Natasha, this is pretty messed up.
Yeah, actually, yeah, pretty much. I just thought it was romance, and like people will be, oh, that's really dark, and I'm like, that's just normal. I don't know.
Yeah.
And it's funny, like what I read, I read, like, do you guys read Jenny Colgan?
Mm-mm.
I love her. She writes like, it's like, I'd show you a cover, but it'd be embarrassing. But it's like, it's just very light. At the end of every chapter, there's a little happiness, and but I just, that's not what I write. So I don't know why. I think it's, I don't know. It just is what it is, and it is dark, but whatever. It's, I feel like with dark romance, there's a lot of emotion, I mean, because there's a lot of trauma.
Yes.
And when you can, I mean, when you can kind of make something beautiful out of that, at the end of it, and, they get their happily ever after, but there's a little something there. It's, there's some bitter there too. And I think it's beautiful. I think it's really, really beautiful. So I'll keep writing that.
When I first started reading it, I didn't realize that it was dark. Like, I didn't realize that there's such a thing as dark romance. I mean, it took a while before I figured it out. I do have to say, too, going back to something you said about Ashley earlier, I got you two confused in the beginning as well.
See,
I don't know what it is about the writing. I'm not sure what it is, but it was very similar, and I knew that I wanted to consume both. So,
and it's funny because I think she's a better writer than I am. I think her writing is it's just prettier. But maybe we write like similar theme. I don't know.
It has to be. I don't know why that happens, but it's got to be somewhat similar. So, I've never sat down and compared the two. I just know that when I first started reading, I was like, ooh, who's this? Isn't this the same person as this? Oh, no, that's different. So,
how that works out.
It's just weird. It's weird, but it's cool. So,
well, I'm just glad that it works out when we write together, that it works, because sometimes it doesn't work, and you don't want to, it's lousy when it doesn't work, but.
Yeah.
So can you tell us anything that you're currently working on or upcoming projects you have going on?
Yeah, actually, I'm super excited about it because I'm writing a mafia romance. Surprise. It is, I know. People are like, how do you come up with new stuff? I'm like, I don't know. It just kind of, it just is happening. I don't know. Knock on wood, man.
Yeah, exactly.
So a new mafia romance. I'm actually almost done with the first draft of the whole story, which I keep saying that I've been telling a bunch of people around here too, like going out to lunches and stuff. I'm like, I'm wrapping up this book this week. I think I've been saying it for like 3-4 weeks now. So they're like, really? So I am wrapping up a mafia romance. I can't say more about it just because I never talk about it until I write the end. I just don't talk about the characters, anything. Like my assistant knows I'm writing because I go super quiet.
Yeah.
I neglect everything. So mafia romance coming soon. I was organized enough to have covers ready already for this series. So I am curious how it's going to end and what's going to happen with one of the side characters. To see if he'll get his own book or not. But I love him, so I'm kind of, I have to see how he kind of works out at the end, though. So it's always a surprise for me too,
Yeah, exactly. Especially when you don't plan. So this one it'll be more than one book.
It will be 2 books at least, probably 3. But the couple story will finish at the end of the second book.
The second book. Okay.
Yeah. So, and I'm hoping, I mean, if I can, I don't know when I'm going to release. I might do summer. I'm not sure. I always get panicky after I finish a book. Like, okay, now what? Because releasing is scary.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Put it out in the world.
Coming soon does mean this year then?
Oh, yeah. For sure this
year.
For sure this year. Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. We'll be watching and waiting.
I will share with you as soon as I know more. Well, as soon as, as soon as I feel comfortable with more.
Okay. Sounds good to me. I'll wait on you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So how did you become a romance writer? We heard that you stumbled into becoming a dark romance writer, but how did the whole thing come about?
So I moved here when like 14 years ago. I don't like to think about that because it goes so fast, right?
So fast.
Oh my God, it's over 10
Yeah.
years. So before that, I was writing like young adult, never had anything published. This was before indie publishing, or before I knew about indie publishing, at least. I have like folders of rejections. No, it's okay. I mean, I don't have them anymore, but I did for a time. And we moved, and my husband is Dutch. I have two kids. They're adults now, but they were young when we got here, so they were at school all day. I moved from Colorado, where it's super sunny all the time. And
for those who don't know, where's here?
Oh, the Netherlands. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we live like about 20 minutes outside of Amsterdam.
Okay.
So, so we moved here, and my husband went to work, the kids went to school, and I sat in the house, and it rained and it rained and it rained. And I like really need the sun, or I'm like a different person. When it's sunny, I'm a different person than I am when it's raining. So, I started writing erotic romance, and I don't know, I found this group on Facebook and met the publisher who actually published my first books, very niche erotic romance. I won't say more about it because I will probably get all red, but so that's how I started. I started to write erotic romance, and my publisher would give me a story idea, and I would go and write it, and then I would give it back to him. And it was really great because I wrote this one book, and it was like, it took all my energy, and but I loved the book. And after that, I thought, okay, I need to write something. I wanted to write bigger, you know. So I went indie 3 years after being with my publisher, and I was a little worried because I was like, oh, I don't want them to be upset with me. And my husband's like, they're just gonna wonder what took you so long, you know.
Yeah.
So that's how I started. Basically, depression, loneliness. Yeah.
And here we are.
Yep. You know, there are a lot of writers out in like Seattle, the Pacific Northwest, right? Because the weather's not great, and you're inside, and it's dark, and your mind kind of, I don't know. So
yeah, and they're like, I can think of a few, and they're mostly dark romance writers. So the ones that live like on the eastern side of the state where it's sunny all the time, they're the ones that write the contemporary small town romance. So, you know, there might be some truth to that for sure.
Seriously, yeah. Like I think if I lived in Colorado still, or like Arizona or something, I wouldn't write because I'd want to be outside all the time. Yeah. So that's why.
I can think of one contemporary on our side.
Oh,
just one, huh? Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Lauren Blakely lives in the Seattle area.
Okay.
And
well, I'm
she
thinking
writes
about
like contemporary.
Okay. I was thinking about Caitlin Taylor, definitely dark. Karina Halley, which is just a little bit north of me in Vancouver, and Victoria, is dark ish, typically, or paranormal. There's a few other, you've got Gianna Darling again in Vancouver, and so like there's
it's definitely that's why I said I can only think of one.
Most of the ones I can think of are darker. So
it's the weather.
It's the weather. It's got to be.
Yep.
We just solved a big mystery.
We did. I didn't even think about that.
It's like when you go to Edinburgh or anywhere in Scotland, you want to write some gothic romance, and you know, ideally something paranormal. So I really think it's where you're at that's doing it.
So I think you're right.
That's funny.
You're onto something there.
Yep.
For sure.
So our next question is, how do you come up with your ideas?
How do I come up with them? Let me think. I don't know. I usually have like the opening scene that I want to write, and I know it has to end happily ever after, except for Sergio. So I just start, and it kind of develops as I write, and I end up going back and cleaning up, like not cleaning up, but like doing a lot of edits because I don't plot. So it's usually one scene that I want to write, and that's how the whole thing starts. And it's funny, like I really have learned to trust myself with this because like some strange thing will come up with a character, some strange, I don't know, something physical, mental, something in her past, something. And I usually don't know what the heck to do with it, but it's there. And I've learned never to delete anything. I just do a little strike through if I'm not sure what the heck is going on. And always by the end of the book, I'm like, that's what that was, So I go back and kind of, I don't know, take the strike through out and just keep it. But yeah, I usually have one scene that I really want to write, and then I go with that. Like with Taken, it was that opening scene in the library. Oh, God, I love that scene so much.
Yep.
I could go on and on.
The one where he comes in and chooses the girl.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like, that was the first sketch I had done, and it was black and white, and it was printed on this like special paper. It was just amazing. And then they did the color on it, and I thought, oh God, this is incredible.
Yeah.
So it's a scene that usually does it.
And that ended up in the book that you put out with all of your scenes that Manuela
yes,
right?
Yes.
Yeah, with all the art.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I can't stop talking about that particular scene. Actually, I can't stop talking about any of it because I'm in there, and I'm
Yeah. I for those who are out there that don't know, you actually introduced us to the artists that we're using a lot for Coveted Cover, and they're amazing. They're the sweetest. I love working with them, and their ability to capture the emotions on people's faces is what did it for me. Like you can see that in the art. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, they're incredible. You just send a scene, and all of a sudden it's like they went into your head, plucked it out, and put it. It's incredible, and they're just so friendly. And I don't know if you've had help with them as well.
No, just a lot of emails back and forth. We've talked about it, but in the beginning they were like, "Do you want to see pictures of this? Do you want to get to know us?" Like they're just so sweet,
cute, right? They're so cute. I love that.
Yes.
Before in the beginning, it used to be just Mattia and Manuela. They're a husband and wife team, so I would call them M&M, and then Gabriele joined, and he does the color. And we had this video call when we were discussing the art book, and he's sitting there with his comb, combing his beard. Because that's what he does when he thinks, and it was so funny. I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah. They're sweet. They're all Italian. They're very, very sweet. I've really enjoyed working with them. So
they're super. So I hope you get to meet them sometime. They're really super.
Yeah. I've got to get them some art briefs this weekend. So I've got work to do. But
I love what they do. So always show me the art that they do, because
I'll have to send you some. We had some done for Grace McGinty's, and it's somewhat NSFW. I'm gonna have to send it to you.
Ooh. Oh, I've seen her NSFW. She's amazing.
We kept it classy.
Yeah.
But she did a good job. So I'll send you some.
Do I want to see?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So I want to go back to your ideas and writing process. So you just come up with a scene that you want to write, and you write the scene, and then the book just takes place from there.
Well, it's not like every day I'm sitting down and getting great words done or something like that. There are days that I'm like, oh my God, what am I writing? I have like one scene, like with this ring. I wanted to write that opening scene with her up in like this tower and Cristiano kind of storming in to get her. I really wanted to write that scene. And then from there, I wanted them to be on this island, and I wanted Cerberus, the dog, in there. I love Cerberus.
Yeah, that dog is awesome.
So cute.
So cute.
I love that. So it really is one scene that I want to write, and then from there it doesn't like just take off and do it though. I mean, it's just like like on a bad writing day, you do not want to be around me. On a good writing day, I'm completely manic. I'm like crazy. And for me, I can't sit super long. So I will get out, and we luckily have woods right around the corner. I walk outside and I'm in the woods, but it's completely safe. Like there's. So I go and I walk like probably twice a day. I get lots of steps in at least. And that's how my brain kind of starts to kind of plot out a scene. So, but it's a great writing day is amazing. Bad writing day, oh my God, those are the worst. You feel like such a failure, It's so weird.
Is that when your husband avoids you all day long, or
pretty much, yeah. He knows not to ask,
Yeah.
And he recently stopped working, so he's home all the time. And in the beginning, it would be like, "So, how's it going?" And it's like, "Ooh, now he walks into the other room." He has my mood.
Oh, poor guy.
Yeah. It is very cool though, I have to say, when a book comes together, it's the best feeling, you know? And I feel like it's like this energy that comes through me. And I think a lot of writers will say that. It's an energy that comes through you that you know, puts the story together. And I feel like every story and every character that we write is, I mean, they're out there somewhere, you know, there's I love it. What a gift to create those people, you know, and share them and fall in love.
It definitely takes a talent, because we've discussed, like, just jokingly discussed writing a book. And I told Mandy one time, I was like, I sat down and I thought about it, and I realized that I have to describe this person, what they're doing, where they're at. Like, there is all of this stuff. And then I have to remember what I did and actually come up with a plot. You've got to be kidding me. No way.
You just have to not think about it, Jessica. You just have to sit down and write. You know, and I give that advice. If people ask me, I'm like, just write, just sit and write. Don't think about it.
You know, I'll call you and tell you my ideas, and then I'm just gonna walk away at that point. So yeah. So does your husband read your books?
He does not.
Okay, I'm just curious.
He does not. No.
He seems very quiet. Like when we met him, but he was also in a different kind of setting. But I'm like, I wonder, does he read those books?
No, he doesn't. No. And he's so funny. He's like, he comes to almost all my signings with me, and I think he's always a little bit uncomfortable and definitely out of place.
Out of place, for sure.
And it's sometimes I'll be like, Patrick, can you help her? Oh, you know, like it's like he's not even there or something. I don't know, but I did ask him with this new one, since he's home now, do you want to read it just to, you know, for continuity, make sure if she has blue eyes in chapter 1, make sure she has blue eyes all the way through, you know, because sometimes that happens.
Yes.
So he's like, I'm going to think about it. And honestly, I'm thinking about it because do I want him to read all of that? I don't know.
I don't know. Do you?
I don't know.
I mean, he might get some ideas.
This is true. He doesn't need any more ideas, you know?
That's what I say about mine, too. Don't encourage him.
No, don't encourage him.
He might also get concerned. Maybe he doesn't really understand dark romance.
You know what? I think that's probably more what's going to happen.
Probably. Because there's times when I will look at Jeff and I will tell him about a scene, and he'll give me the side eye, like, who are you? What is going on? That's a little messed up. Yeah, just a little bit.
Oh, I love that. It is nice to kind of throw those at them, though, right? And kind of
it's fun.
Hear them a little.
Yeah, I did that last night. I was reading a wild man romance, and I threw some stuff out at him, and he was like, I can do that. I'm like, no.
I don't want you to do that.
No, I'm good. I was like, I'm reading my book. Leave me alone. So.
My husband only gets concerned when I start watching Dateline too many episodes in a row, and they're all about like the woman killing her husband.
Ooh.
I'll be like, we need to watch something else.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm scared now. I'm scared. Yeah, that happens quite a bit.
I don't like the messages I'm receiving.
No.
So you and your husband, because you said he's
Dutch, so he's
Dutch.
Here.
You said Dutch. I almost said Dutchland. I know it's Dutch something. He's from that area, but you guys met in college, right? He was in the college.
No,
in the US?
actually, and it's very confusing because like they call the Netherlands Holland, and
and
then they're Dutch, and Deutsch is German, so it's very close. And they actually sing in their national anthem, we come from German blood, if I'm translating that right. And I'm always so confused. So we actually met, I worked at a hotel in outside of Philadelphia. Okay. And I've always had this European dream. And it's funny, I met a girl here, a woman who moved here recently. She's American. And we met at this event, and I'm like, I've always had this European dream. And she said, oh my God, me too. So I always wanted to live in Europe. I don't know why. I've always had that. So I worked at a hotel, and he was going to work in the US. So he gets to the front desk, and I'm working, and he just starts talking, and I'm doing my thing. And I was like, oh, people are so rude, you know? And then I look up, and I literally fell in love on first sight. Him, not so much, but me. Yes. So I was taunted with that now. But so we met when he moved to the US, and he was there. I think we lived there for like 20 some odd years.
Okay.
And then when our kids were like 6 and 8, we were like, okay, well, if we're going to go, we should go now because it'll be easier than trying to take them out of high school.
Right.
So,
Mhm.
yeah, it's cool
Yeah.
though. So my kids both speak Dutch fluently, me not so much. But yeah.
Because I worked in a hotel, and
Yeah.
I quit working at the hotel, and like a month later is when I met my husband. So I worked in a hotel in Alaska. So
Yeah. Oh,
and
and
I get
Alaska.
it was in Alaska. It was in Anchorage.
Oh my
So
gosh. I did a project at a hotel in Anchorage once, and they were telling me how they had these glass sliding doors,
mhm.
and they've had like a moose kind of come up to the entrance, and the doors opened. So I
Mhm.
thought, oof.
Yeah, it happened. So you went to Alaska and you did it at the hotel.
I was working, well, I used to do software installations at
Uh-huh.
hotels. I know I'm like so not an IT person, as you guys experienced me trying to get on this. But I used to do software installation. So I was all over the place, and I got to go to some really, really nice hotels, which was wonderful, and
Yeah.
got to travel when I wasn't afraid to fly. But now, oh my gosh, as you get older, I don't know, are you guys afraid to fly?
Not really.
No, but there are times when planes are going, falling out of the
Oh.
sky when we're getting ready to go to an event, and I call Mandy and I'm like, "Are you sure we don't want to drive to Phoenix?"
Yes, yes.
Because that was all during that time, and Mandy's like, "No, we don't want to drive." And then just before we leave, more stuff happens, and she's like, "I think we might want to drive," and I'm like, "I'm not driving."
Yeah.
Like, we're
Things
just gonna
happen
pray.
in threes. So
Yeah.
as long as it happens, and oh my God. And I thought, okay, I need to do some research and figure out how planes stay in the sky. I don't panic. I'm talking to my daughter, and she's like, no, you can't actually drop farther than this, blah, blah, blah. But it can always nosedive.
Yeah, see? Yeah, that was all happening around the time that we were all flying. So, no, I was like, you know what? We're just going to get on. We're going to say a prayer, and it is what it is. So,
Don't think about I try not to think about it. And I recently realized, after Phoenix, my husband and I rented a little camper, right? Like one of those Sprinter vans. So we were driving up the West Coast, which was beautiful, by the way. And we were sleeping in the van. It is super dark out there.
yes.
Super dark. I realized I'm a little claustrophobic. So I'm just waiting for the day I'm on a plane and I like panic and start running down the aisle like a crazy woman for the exit door, which obviously is not going to be open when I'm high in the sky. But
Right.
we're going to get to see you go viral.
She'll be on Dateline.
Somebody will record that.
That would be kind of fun, actually.
Yeah. So my aunt is claustrophobic, and I've flown to Mexico and back with her. She has to be on a window. The window has to remain open, and she has to look out the window the whole time.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So that was it.
There is a book idea for you. A lady's on a plane. She's freaking out, and some big burly man has
mafia
to attack
man
her and keep her calm.
Yeah, then he just decides to keep her.
I saw that. And then she ran into his chest. Oh
yes.
God, that big,
those big old arms, just, I got you.
And then he's like, the only way we can make this better is to join the Mile High Club. And he like forces her
I'm
into
gonna
the
distract
bathroom.
you.
I love that.
That's perfect. There you go.
Awesome.
New scene.
Yep.
I love it. So yeah, flying
look at us creating award-winning books right here.
That's right. That's right.
That's awesome.
Live.
Yep, exactly.
So what do you like to do in your free time?
I love traveling, and that's one of the reasons my husband stopped working.
As long as it's not on a plane?
As long as it's not on a plane. Seriously, I love road trips in Europe. I love them. Also, I love road trips in the US, but you have to fly to get there.
Yes.
And yeah, but I love to travel. So we are like next week we'll be in Marrakesh. I'll be on a plane. I'll let you know if I do the crazy run down the aisle thing.
Cool. Yeah.
Super excited to go. Never been. And I don't know. So he stopped working. I'm really happy about that because I told him I cannot spend another winter here when it's raining. And
yeah,
because it's like if it's so long, I get totally depressed. So travel. I love road trips. I love them. I love like different countries, different languages. I mean, and people are super to meet, and it's really I love it. It's really, really amazing. And I always try to speak the language a little bit, and I'm really bad at it. Like, so embarrassed.
That's funny.
But
both of your kids are in college now, right?
They are. One of them graduated. She got her bachelor's last year, and she's now in Lisbon. And she's going to do a master's out there. So I'm super excited because I love Lisbon. It's have you guys? I don't know if you guys have been there, but it's amazing. And the people are so nice, and the food is incredible. I love to eat as well. That's another thing I love to do.
So great, cool.
And my younger one is graduating in June, actually. So, and then she's eventually going to go to Dublin for school, which I love Dublin. I think it'll be, I'm excited for her. So,
yeah, I want to go to Dublin. I want to go to Ireland and Scotland. Those are bucket lists for me. So
get your butt over here.
we will. We're waiting for.
You come here. You come here too.
Okay.
Then. What are you waiting for?
A rare event, and I'm waiting for Cover to Cover to pay for it.
Oh yes.
So give us a year or two.
Yeah, because you're the boss anyway. You can just say, hey.
Yeah. We have to get there first. Let's get past that first year, and then we'll hopefully, fingers crossed. Yeah. Be able to justify that one. Yeah. That's also one though. Like if Mandy and I were to go, Stacy would demand to be there because we're going over. You know, we're going. And I think that's one too where the husbands might be like, wait a minute, you're going where without me? So it might be a little more costly.
My husband would care that much.
Mine would. Mine likes to travel. Like he would want to see those places. So I'd have to fly him in after the fact, maybe.
It's a business expense.
It is.
Yeah, and he can carry all your books.
He could be my personal assistant.
Yeah.
And if there's anything book related, I don't think Jay is going to be that interested.
Well, but Jay would have to come to hang out with Jeff during the book event.
Yeah.
And then we would all go do our stuff afterwards. See?
Okay.
While they're drinking at a pub somewhere or something. And
that Jay could get behind.
See? Yeah.
Just like going to a book event would not be his thing.
Fast. It's not. It's Seattle to Europe is like it's like a 9-hour direct flight.
Yeah, because my son did that last year when they went to Germany, and I think it was 9 or 10. Yeah. So
just a few more hours than going to Florida.
Just a few.
Seriously,
not that many actually.
Yeah,
5 hours.
Like 5-6 hours to
Florida? Five. Well, 5 going. But because you get a tailwind typically, so 4 or 5 going, and then it's what was yours coming home, Mandy? Was it like 6?
No, it was 7 because there were thunderstorms, so we had to fly over. And I kid you not, the pilot said the Gulf of America.
No,
yeah, he did.
And so it added like an extra hour and something on.
You may as well come to Europe at that point.
I was feeling it.
Yeah, you're planning to go to Europe though, right, Mandy?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But when I went to Europe when I was much younger, I thought it was like a 12-hour flight.
I don't know. But
From
you were
Seattle?
going to, from Seattle. But you guys flew to where?
We did not take a direct flight from Seattle. We had to fly to Chicago and from Chicago to London.
Okay.
Now I'm wondering how we did it now. Maybe we did go through London. I don't know. It wasn't bad though.
And then because you guys went, did you go into Czechoslovakia? I can't spit it out, Mandy. I cannot spit it out.
Oh, okay. So we went to London and we stayed in London, and then we had to fly from London to Prague, and then from Prague we took trains to different places that we went, and we traveled by car.
How long were you out here?
A month.
Oh, that's great.
My dad grew up in Czechoslovakia.
Oh, yeah.
And he escaped when it was a communist country. Yeah. And so then we went when I was young, like teenager, probably. Maybe I was 11 or 12. It was a long time ago.
Really young, yeah. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Great. My daughter did like a Eurail trip last summer. She won, like every summer they give away a certain number of Eurail passes, and she and her friend won them. She was so excited. And then like at the end of the trip, she's like, I will never take a train in Europe again. Because everything was delayed, or you had to make and you had to book everything in advance. She's like, she couldn't get like a sleeper train. And she's like, Mom, this guy's feet touched mine because he just took his shoes off and was sleeping.
Oh, gross.
I don't blame her for that one.
Yeah, I'm with her on that.
Yeah. No, thanks.
Yeah. Although I do want to do, have you guys seen that Venice train, like the really fancy one, the Orient Express kind of?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I'd love to do that, but I think it's like, it's super expensive, crazy
But
expensive.
you like Italy. You go there
I do.
often. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. And my husband loves it. And, you know, there's a rare in Florence. You guys
Mhm.
that.
Yeah, we've seen that too. Yep. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I love to travel anywhere in Europe pretty much. So it's,
Yeah, we're doing Greece next spring. Jeff and I are with
ooh,
our youngest. So, but it's an EF tours. It's a school tour. It's
oh,
10 days in Greece. So it'll be chaotic
where in Greece are you going to go?
all over apparently. I know Athens is in there. I think was Santorini in there. I think Santorini might have been it. Like
Yeah.
there's all yeah, you're not in one spot for very long.
That sounds pretty great though. I love that.
It sounds exhausting, but I wasn't going to let my 16-year-old, she'll be 16-year-old go without me because that sounds like fun. Not because I can't let her go without me, just because it sounds like fun and I wanted to go too.
Yeah,
So.
absolutely. You should go. It's beautiful. I've never been to Athens, and there's an author that I love who writes Greek mythology, and she did this thing last year, and I was too late for it, but she takes like a small group and she does this whole like tour of Athens with them and kind of tells the stories of the gods and the goddesses. And I love how she tells those stories. So I'm watching her website, waiting for it to come up again because I'm determined to go this time.
That would be fun. That would be fun.
Yeah.
So do you have any author signings that you're planning to be at?
I'm going to be in London in in July for Rare, and then I'll be in Glasgow in November for Brits. I'm really excited about those. I mean, I love going to the UK anyway, and I've never been to Glasgow, so I'm super excited to see that. And I think that's it for now. I don't know where I'm going next year yet.
Okay. How often do you come to the US for signings?
Not that often, maybe once a year or once every 2 years or so.
Okay.
But I'm trying to do it more because my mom is getting older, and so that's, I try to kind of stop there and then see her a little bit and then do the signing from there. So
there's one coming up in Hawaii in 2027.
Oh, really? I could maybe do that.
Yeah, it's supposed to be small and quaint, and
I love that.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you all about it when we get done.
Yeah, are you guys gonna do it? Are you guys gonna go?
I applied to go as coveted cover. Mandy then is going to come as the assistant, and Stacy's like, wait, I gotta go too, because we all are going. Yeah, she's like, whoa, all of us are going. It's still 2027, so we haven't heard whether or not you were accepted. But even if we're not, we're going. We'll go as attendees. So
Oh, that sounds great.
Yeah.
That sounds really great.
And it's just before Thanksgiving. It's like November of 2027. So it's out there.
And that's a great time to go to Hawaii, probably.
Yeah. Everybody's trying to go at that point, but yeah.
Although, November in the States is kind of fun because you've got Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I love that. Like
Thanksgiving
and or Halloween and Thanksgiving, the best feeling. And then Christmas and
Yeah.
We're gonna have Thanksgiving at a hotel when we go to Hawaii.
Yeah. I'm not gonna complain.
Yeah.
Actually, I've heard that there like some places do like a really nice Thanksgiving type dinner. So we'll have to find a good place. I think it'll be fun.
Yeah. Stacy rents a house when she goes. So we could just go to her house and have somebody else cook it for us.
I was gonna say we don't want to have to.
I don't want to cut.
Come on, Jessica.
You rent a nice house,
Yeah.
With all of you, that would be really fun.
That would be fun. That would be fun. Yeah. A little chaotic, but it'd be fun.
I like a good hotel where I have to go out to eat. I don't want to be cooking and cleaning on vacation.
Even if we rent a house, I am not cooking.
Okay.
No. It's vacation.
We're on the same page there.
Yeah.
Well, before we wrap up, is there anything else you'd like to share or anything you were thinking we were going to ask that we didn't?
I actually, you know what? I can't. I'm unprepared for this. I'm so sorry. It's just kind of how I roll,
Oh, well, my next question is, I was going to ask you for a 5-paragraph essay.
Oh my gosh. It's funny. Like I work with this guy when I do my ads, and he'll be like, okay, so why don't we come up? Can you help? Like let's write this copy right now. And I'm like, ooh, I panic. I think like deer in headlights, I'm like, no, I'm going to take that. I'll do that later. I'll do that after we disconnect. I'll write it, but I can't write it while we're sitting here on the phone.
Mm-mm.
So I am just super happy to have done this. I think it's really fun to talk to you guys.
Yes.
So
Agree.
yeah.
For sure.
So thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So very last question is just, what is the best way for readers to connect with you?
Facebook is good. If you really, really want to make sure you get hold of me, use the contact form on my website, because that I get an email and then I definitely see it. So Facebook or Instagram messages, I don't always see, because there's so much spam out there and
Yes.
they just get lost, you know,
Yeah.
and
You get the messages about your SEO all the time, and
right.
really,
Yeah, it's amazing, right?
It's crazy.
So if you really, really want to make sure I get your message, email me, and you can use the form on my website, on my shop, or on my website. So it's just natashaknight.com.
Okay. And on Facebook, you just have your author page. You don't have a reader group.
You know what? I do, but I'm really, really negligent. I need to kind of decide what I'm doing. You know why?
Why?
It's really hard for me to, like, at the end of the writing day, I am tired. I don't have the energy, and I can't, like, I don't want to be on my devices at the end of it, you know, because I've spent so much time. And I just want to be with my family then too, you know, I want to spend some time with them and not be constant, because it takes me a long time to write. I'm just really slow. So that's, and I just need to figure out what I'm doing with that. I also don't like to make decisions, so it's out there, but I really do something with it. I think people have like stopped expecting me to post in there. I'm really sorry, guys. So yeah.
Okay.
My page.
Your page, your author page. Yes. Yeah. You're active on there. So
I am active on there. Yes.
And on your Instagram. So yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So.
All right. Well, thank you so much for popping on and talking to us today.
Thank you for having me. It was really fun.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you.
For sure. Thanks everybody out there for watching. We'll see you in the next video.